No business has ever failed because it had too much revenue. In this video, I'm gonna explain the 5 steps for you to focus on to grow your small business in 2023. You came across this video because your small business is not where you want it to be, and you're not alone. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of business owners out there that are running into the same issue. They go in and they find tons of people talking about things that aren't necessarily relevant. Everybody has advice to give. And in this video, I'm gonna cover the 5 areas that I feel are the most important to look at in 2023. The first step is gonna be your value proposition. And you may have gone through this process in the past if you've owned your small business for a short or a long amount of time. The thing is that you always wanna go back to what is your value proposition? What separates you from everybody else? It does not matter if you are a dentist or you are a fitness coach or you are a shop owner. Whatever your business is, what is going to separate you? You have to look at it from the standpoint of who are your competition, what are they doing, what are they saying they're better at than you and everybody else, and how are you going to be different? In the fitness world, for instance, there are tons of fitness experts, but what is going to make one person different over the other? You have to think about your target demographic. What are they coming to see? What are they coming to you for? What are their problems that they're trying to solve? And you have to make sure that your value proposition matches up to that. Without going through and really auditing it, you can't move on to the next steps. You have to really dig down and understand what separates me from everybody else. Now, when you get into the activity standpoint and the other steps, you can separate yourself. But if somebody's looking at it from the standpoint of everybody's saying they're the best at this, or the best dentist, or the best doctor, they're the best chiropractor, they're the best fitness person, whatever it is, everybody's the best. There has to be something that draws them in to make you stand out. So I want you to write down a list of 1 to 3 things that are gonna make you stand out from everybody else, what makes you different, and that is going to be your value prop for this year. The next thing you need to look at is your website and your SEO. You don't wanna do a ton of marketing activity if your website and your SEO isn't working. When you're sending people to your website, is it easy for them to click through? Are there call to actions in place? Can you easily get them to either book appointments, book time with you, purchase something from your website? Is it built on the right platform? Really go through and audit that. What little tweaks can you make here and there? Are you analyzing the data in Google Analytics? Are you tracking it on a monthly basis? You have to look at it and audit it from the standpoint of assume that you're a third party coming in and looking at it. Is your traffic increasing? Is the right people going to the right places? Can somebody easily go through your site and take the action you want to take? Too often companies build a website, they leave it, it's been the same for 2, 3, 5 years. They don't go back and redo it because they say, I don't want to spend money into it. But there's no point of marketing if you're sending people to something that isn't going to capitalize on that traffic and attention and get them to take the action that you want to take. The same thing from an SEO standpoint. Now, I have a ton of videos about search engine optimization. There's a ton of videos out there, and most of them are pretty good from the experts, let's say. But search engine optimization is a long-term play. You want to show up when people are searching for what it is that you do. Now, there could be a ton of competition out there, depending on the niche that you're in and what your product or service is, but you want to look at it and say, I need to make updates to my on-page SEO, which is everything that's on your website, your H tags, your meta title, your description, all that stuff. I will make a future video going in more depth into the SEO world of it because it is pretty extensive. But you want to start those actions today because that does take a while for Google to show up. Most people think, no, I'm just gonna run ads. If I run ads, I'm spending $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. I'm gonna show up at the top and somebody's gonna click it. But go and Google search what percentage of people click ads versus organic. The ads section of it only gets about 25 to 30% of all searches. So if 1,000 people are searching for what is it you do in your area, or what is it that you do nationwide, only about 30% on the high end are going to click into that ad group. The rest of the 70% are going to go into the organic ranking. So while you can run ads to show up at the top while your organic SEO is boosting if you're not on page 1, the goal should be long-term to get to page 1 of those search results so that way you don't have to spend money on ads and you capitalize on the work that you already put in. Next thing you have to look at is you have to create content. I'm sure you've seen this all over. Content is what is going to make you stand out. Now, once you know your value proposition, then you have to create content around it. The content ideally needs to be video. Long-form content and text content does work. Writing articles, blog posts, depending on your niche, depending on what it is that you're doing, does work and it does help organic SEO. But to get attention quickly, you need to create a lot of video content. You have to stand out. The market is noisy. Everybody's trying to pull the attention away from the people you're trying to sell to. The person that's creating the most amount of content consistently is going to stand out. You have to look at it from a standpoint of, I'm going to create, like this long video that we're creating now is going to be chopped up into a lot of micro content videos that can be used for reels on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, things like that. So you're getting short form content out of long form content. Either partner with a company like Milan Media to do all of it for you, or find somebody in your area, a freelancer, to be able to shoot the content, edit it out, so that way you can start posting it to the platforms. But you have to focus, 2023, you have to focus as much energy on creating content. Now you may be thinking, what am I gonna create? I have no idea what type of content I should create. Think about it from the standpoint of your value proposition, whatever the 1 to 3 points are that you made, those are 3 pieces of video content. You can do long form video content from there. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute video. Then you can break all that down into smaller sections. But you have to put yourself in the shoes of the person that you're trying to sell to. What is it that's going to get their attention? Is it a short 20-second video about a pain point? Think about the problem they're trying to solve, the issues that they run into. What's going to be the convenience that they want to have? Create videos around that to show that you are the expert, and you're doing it consistently over a long period of time and a lot of content. That's going to make you stand out instantly across the board. Now we're going to be looking at the platforms. Where are you going to post your content, and where does your target demographic live? Look at it from the platforms of all of the social things. If you're B2B, business to business, then LinkedIn and Facebook is going to be the best. Definitely LinkedIn. If you're in consulting, coaching, engineering, technical stuff, anything like that, B2B is where LinkedIn will dominate. Now you can do things on Facebook, a lot of things from a B2B standpoint, but it's very strategic. Those are going to be the 2 main platforms for business to business. Now, business to consumers, that's going to be more Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, things like that. But regardless if you're business to business or business to consumer, you can still use YouTube. YouTube long form videos and YouTube Shorts, those are going to be very powerful. So you want to make sure that all of your platforms are set up to be cohesive to match your website, match your brand, match your value proposition, make sure everything looks and feels the same from a brand standpoint. And you have to attack those markets, look at each individual one of them. So on Instagram, it's about reels and stories. On Facebook, you can do some long form videos on there. You can do posts. On LinkedIn, again, short videos uploading natively into it. Posts, articles, like LinkedIn is a different beast. We have a ton of experience with it. That's going to be a little bit different than your B2B on Facebook, but you want to look at each individual platform and determine what is the best thing to post on there, and then dominate it by producing an insane amount of content and putting it on there on a regular schedule, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, not a 1 post a day, 1 post every 3 days type of schedule. You have to understand that if the market is noisy and a lot of people are trying to pull the attention away from your potential customer, you have to be posting every single day, because you don't know when they're going to be searching, you don't know when they're going to be looking for content, when they're on the social platform, what times of the day. So by you posting every day, it's going to increase the likelihood that you can get their attention to look at your brand and what it is that you're trying to sell or market to them, and then them dive deeper into it to take action. The last thing is going to be, how are you going to organize all this data? And you have to have a CRM system. Now you may be thinking this is going to be so expensive. It's not. You can get into HubSpot, which we're a partner with. You could get into HubSpot for free just to have a system in place. You can start tracking your website data. You can have live chat on your website for a small amount of money. And the great thing about having a CRM system to organize all of your traffic, all of your people into a central location is that as you go into the next steps, which we're not going to dive into in depth in this video, but email marketing, reaching out to people, calls, texting, things like that, you can do it in a platform like HubSpot as you continue to grow. But initially, you want to organize all of your data into a central location. Don't go with the cheaper solutions that you think are going to be better. HubSpot is the best platform because you can get in for free. You can grow it up to $500 monthly plan, $1,000, $2,000 monthly plan as you need it. But to get started, it's free, and you can organize all of your contacts into it, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out, here's the market I'm going after. You want to pull them into your ecosystem, pull them into your pipeline, try and sell to them, organize that data, capture all that information so that way you can go back and try and market to them again if you don't close them. But in order to do that, you have to have a system in place. Don't cheap out on this. HubSpot is the best. It is free. Even at $50 a month, you can get way more bang for your buck than going with one of their competitors that is going to be not as robust and can't grow with you as you scale. The ultimate goal is for you to make so much money, build out your team, build out your business to hit your goals. And if that's the ultimate goal, then you need to set up a system that can grow with you, and that's going to be HubSpot. So if you guys got value out of these 5 areas, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, Tell somebody that you know. If you're not a small business owner and you're helping a friend out, send them this video. I'm sure that they will get value out of it, and we will see you on the next one.